Securing your financial future is very important now more than ever, and investing your money is the first step towards achieving these goals. When we heard about investing, it is quite intimidating and confusing sometimes. So, how does investment works? How does it flow? So today we will be talking about the investment process. What is investment process? Investment process serves as a set of guidelines that govern the behavior of investors, in which allows them to remain faithful to the tenets of their investment philosophy. Learning about investment is a process. It is a never-ending process. Learning about investment is never completed. It is a cycle. It is an ongoing process. It is a sequence of actions that leads to a good decision.
In investing process, it starts with meeting an investment prerequisites. It is all about the investor's characteristics. But why do we need to invest? Is it for emergency reserves, for an adequate protection like death or disabilities, or maybe you are preparing for a possible loss of job? So before you even start with the investment process, you need to look over to these things. And before you proceed to your financial planner, that person will ask you different questions.
The next step is establishing investment goals. In this, you will ask the question, what I want to do? What is that I want to achieve? Am I investing for the short-term or the long-term goals? So, am I preparing for the future? Therefore, you need to establish it to yourself, your goals before you start investing.
After you create your goals, you need to adopt an investment plan. You need to first establish the investment policy. And what is this investment policy?
It is a written document detailing the objectives and constraints of the investor. It should have specific objectives regarding the return requirement and risk tolerance.
In investment policy, it is a roadmap that points out your goal. What is your time horizon? What are the risks you're willing to take? What tax bracket you're in? It is very important in the long run to have your investment policy if ever you will encounter a problem in the future. At least you already have a plan that you're going to take, a preparation plan for a possible difficulty that will come along the way.
After adopting an investment plan, the next step is evaluating an investment vehicles. But what are these investment vehicles? It can be in the form of financial assets and real assets.
Financial assets. When we say financial assets, are paper claim on some issues such as marketable securities that are easily and cheaply tradable in organized markets, while real assets are tangible assets such as gold, silver, diamond, art, and real estates.
Financial assets are divided into A. Money market or bonds. These are financial assets that represent a creditor relationship with an entity. It is least risky and also offer lowest return. B. Capital market or stocks. It is represent an ownership position on corporation. It offers a higher return or average but are generally riskier than bonds. C. Derivative securities. These are tied to the performance of another security. They have the highest potential risk level as well as highest potential return.
After evaluating the investment vehicles, it is time for you to select the suitable investment. After choosing the type of investment you want, it's time for you to construct a diversified portfolio. You need to develop a strategy on how to drive your investment. Wherein in investment strategy, investors seek the highest possible expected return within the constraints of the desired cash flow, risk level, and liquidity. Your goal is to achieve a possible high return without exposing to too much risk. Here comes the asset allocation. And what is this asset allocation?
Asset allocation is the proportioning of an investment portfolio among various asset categories such as cash, bonds, stocks, and real estate that helps in reducing portfolio risks. Next is security selection. It is the process used to determine the specific securities within each asset class that are most suitable for a client's needs. It involves the performance of security analysis and portfolio management.
Security analysis. This consists of analyzing past performance and evaluation of future prospects of individual investors. In portfolio management is the analysis of potential portfolio in an effort to find the set of securities that best meets the objective of the investors.
So, after taking those considerations, and after a strategy has been developed, the asset allocation decisions are implemented and the specific securities selected. You need to put into practice about the concepts outlined and developed.
After the implementation, here comes the managing the portfolio. In managing the portfolio, you need to consistently monitor it to make sure that the strategy is as it bets. Strategy monitoring is very important because there are a lot of changes in the financial market. Now, let's talk about those who are involved in the investment process. Who are they? First is the government. The government has a lot of projects and programs that need funds. So if the government is in short of funds, they tend to borrow money in short-term securities.
Next is businesses. Business also needs a huge amount of money to support their business operations. But sometimes, if they have excess in cash, they are also the one source that supply funds.
The next is the individual. People need money in the form of loans to buy things or property that they want. An individual is also the net supplier of funds for the government and business through their deposits by insurance and securities.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for watching.
watching.